70 years ago, in the wake of war-torn Europe, a Frenchman had an idea to help people build friendships, elderly and those not so experienced in years. Well, 25 years ago, that idea came to San Francisco, and the idea is known as Little Brothers, Friends of the Elderly. Here to speak with us today is the Executive Director from the San Francisco chapter, Cathy Michalek, and one of its participants, Emil Girardi. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Emil, you're making your TV debut today, so I'm going to ask you the first question. It's a big deal.
Okay. Big deal.
How long have you been working with Little Brothers, and what do you like about it?
It's going on 6 years, and what I like about it will probably take most of the time that you have. I have a friend who called Little Brothers and told them I was in need of a friend. I just came home from the hospital recuperating from a little stroke, and Little Brothers sent me Shipra. Well, she has taken over a spot that I had in my head and my heart that was my beloved sister. She's in there now.
So you got another sister, courtesy of Little Brothers.
My sister that I lost before. I got a new one now.
Now, Emil's story is similar to a lot of the stories you hear at Little Brothers. Tell me a little bit about that first history, how the international organization got started, and about you, of course, here in SF celebrating your 25th year.
Kind of like what you said, a French nobleman after the war just looked around and thought, oh my goodness, all these elderly people have lost a lot of their families in the war, and people were living alone and they were isolated. So he decided that he could do something about it. He had the means, and so a bunch of men, because at that time that's what happens, got together and they started Little Brothers Friends of the Elderly. It is now an international organization. There's 7 chapters in the United States. It's in Spain, in Germany, and Mexico, Romania, Ireland. And so it's a network of nonprofits. We're all standalone nonprofits that work in relieving isolation among the elderly in our communities.
Right. What is the best part of your visits now? Because you had Shipra. Of course, now you're still in touch with her, but I understand now you have a new friend that you've made, Aaron.
Yes. It started out as a friend, and he has become my caregiver and my house cleaner.
You got lucky. I mean, most people marry that and they don't get both in one, you know, I mean.
So that on my day off, which is Tuesday, I accomplish quite a lot because he cleans the house and I do just nothing.
Yeah. So, and you met Aaron through your connection to Shipra.
Yes.
So you're just seducing caregivers from Little Brothers, Friends of the Elderly.
That whole little family is in my pocket.
And it's so funny. Shipra says you're part of the family. You spend Thanksgiving, Christmases together. You just did the birthday celebration with them, so you're part of their family now.
Yes, I am.
And that happens a lot. We have a lot of intergenerational connections that our volunteers make with our elders, and it's really important because a lot of times you don't have the grandparents living in the same city anymore, and so families really see it as an opportunity to, you know, to extend their very fulfilling life and having to extend it to a different generation. Because let's face it, the elderly built San Francisco.
Right. How important do you think it is? I mean, you know, not for like Emil here has made friendships. How important do you think it is for the people who actually volunteer for Little Brothers?
It's really important.
They are incredible. I don't know where to start telling you how wonderful they all are. I've been meeting them little by little. They have sent them to my house, and we have communicated over the past 5 years.
Well, I know at the 25th anniversary celebration at the Starlight Room here in San Francisco, you got up and spoke. You were kind of the poster child for Little Brothers.
I suddenly became that.
Because you're so good.
She thinks I'm wonderful.
Well, you know, I kind of understand it. 6 years ago, when you were first matched with Shipra and first matched with Little Brothers, how different were you then from how you are now? How has Little Brothers changed your life?
Well, For one thing, Shipra knew I was suddenly wanting to stay in my house. I was recuperating for a year, and she's going like this. It was time for me to go out, and she said, let's go. And there is an area in San Francisco called the Tiled Steps, and that's where she took me. Being a San Franciscan, I didn't know that those steps existed.
So even in your 35th year, you discovered something new about San Francisco.
Exactly, through Little Brothers.
How long have you lived in San Francisco?
Since 1960.
Wow. Do you think, because I heard, and I think I know the answer because I heard you talk about it at the Starlight Room, that Shipra saved your life in a way? Certainly emotional life?
Emotionally, I was missing my sister terribly because I was sick and I wanted her comfort. And suddenly Shipra was doing that. And that's what started my healing from within.
How common are stories like Emil?
So common. And, you know, we have a variety of programs. So we have one program where the volunteer is matched with an elder. And then we also have a program where we have people that just want to do a visit like on a Saturday. So every other month we have some kind of visiting program. And Emil, you get a visit every other month from somebody you might not even know.
I don't know.
Right. And we do Christmas morning and Thanksgiving morning as well. And so that is a time for families where their loved ones may be far away or they've lost their parents. And we really get a lot of volunteers on those days to visit our elderly in their homes on those days.
Next week I'm going to be in Palm Springs, which everyone jokes about. It's a city made for senior citizens because it's flat and it's warm. It's not so easy to be, I like to say experienced in years. I never say seniors or old because Lord knows we're all getting there.
Right.
But San Francisco is not an easy city physically for senior citizens. How do you find the constituency you need to help? I mean, are there other people that you can't reach yet physically?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we get referrals from social workers and doctors and nurses, or an elder in the building might say, oh, you know, I'm getting a visit from Little Brothers this weekend. And they'll say, oh, what's that about? So, you know, we get self-referrals as well. And or parent or the daughter or the son are moving and they know that our organizations exist and they do a referral for their mom and dad.
Do you think sometimes that children are a little embarrassed? They think, oh my God, I feel guilty. I should be able to do this myself. I mean,
you know, I think they do. But those are the phone calls we love to get. Because we know there is someone else on the other line that we can count on if something does happen. Right. So that's really important. And it gives a peace of mind to that person who has to move out of the city because they have a job, you know.
Emil, have you recommended other friends, other colleagues, or people that you have met who are also seniors to say, you know what, you need to call Little Brothers?
No, because the people that have grown up with me have passed on. So I have made new friends with the Little Bros.
Yeah, the Little Bros. So you call it Little Bros.
Yes, it's on my calendar at Little Bro.
Little Bro. That might catch on. Well, if you did meet someone your age that maybe like you did, you were missing your sister, what would you say to another senior citizen in San Francisco?
I'd say follow me, do as I do, and you'll be happier.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the other programs that you haven't talked about. You know, what does Little Brothers do that maybe someone who wants to volunteer might think, oh, I can't do that, but oh, well, I could do that.
Right. So, you know, like I said, every other month we have a visit in their home. So on a Saturday morning for an hour and a half, you come, we give you a goodie bag, a rose, which is the symbol of our organization. We give you directions to the elder's home and you do a visit. And on the months we don't do those visits, we also do social gatherings where Emil will get picked up by a volunteer and we'll have some kind of a lunch or a party where a volunteer can drive the elder to that event and, you know, kind of participate in the event. We just had a poetry workshop on Saturday. We do special outings where we take them to a museum. We recently went to Muttville, where with the senior dogs. That was great. So we just
You can't teach an
try-
old dog new tricks.
That's exactly
Yeah, sorry, I
right.
had to go there. Yeah.
So we do a lot of things. We have a special wish list for the elders, kind of like a bucket list.
Yeah.
So we ask them what they want, and then we send that out to our volunteers, and they say, "Oh, I could do that. I could take them, on a train, or I could take them to Sonoma." And so we have that. We also have birthday visits. So an elder is never alone on their birthdays, and our volunteers can that's a nice way to get to know our organization.
Right.
Because a birthday visit is fun. You bring them maybe a cupcake or something, and you get to talk about the day that they were born and what they've seen in their lives.
Right.
And that's a good icebreaker.
We've only got a few moments left. I want to ask you each one last question. Emil, what have you learned about yourself from working with little brothers? How have these last 6 years changed you?
I think I'm not afraid of getting older. Now that I'm with people my age and watching them, I'm thinking, I'm fine.
And how about you? What have you learned about yourself?
I've learned a lot about myself in the last 8 months I've been with the organization. Then that this unique gifts that our elders in our community can teach us, and how our volunteers really want to make an impact in the community, and they come to make a difference in their own life as well as the elders' life, and I think that's amazing.
Great. Thank you, Cathy. Thanks, Emil, for being with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'll go online and learn more about Little Bros.
Thank you.
Next up, our conversation with two very funny people, Samson Kolakar and Vaso Primlani of DesiFest. We'll be right back. Thanks so much. That was great. Great. Stay here. Don't